Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Tinamani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharane Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paskya Chade Shatarne Panchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So, let me see. Madan Mohan Prabhu had made a video on YouTube in response to my post about the situation regarding Tripurari Swami and Padmanabha Swami, and then I got a text from Mohini Didi, which is who is Madan Mohan's wife. So she had asked me if I wanted to post Madan Mohan's YouTube to my post, or I'm sorry, to place his link, YouTube link, which is his response to the situation on my post. I decided to do this YouTube video first, rather than place his link on my post. I may do that anyhow, but I did want to at least clarify things in response to Madan Mohan's YouTube video. And it is my intention to encourage Tripurari Swami's disciples in their love for him, their service for him, their surrender to him. This is not, my intention is not to disturb their shraddha, their faith, or their nishtha, their firm faith. It is to help grow it. Above all, we want to see devotees become Krishna conscious, and we need the guru for that to happen. And that is really my position. So if you look at the Vaishnav history, Gaudiya Vaishnavism especially, you find the importance of the guru as always being listed and pointed out. What was this? There are mostly instances we read about is about the mercy of the guru. So the guru's mercy is all that we're made of. We sing this every single day. The guru's mercy is very, very important, and he's merciful. He is very tolerant of the disciple, and he's merciful, and he's there to help the disciple grow. The guru in the Gaudiya Vaishnavism is an ocean of mercy, because he follows, his example is to follow in the footsteps of the Lord, who is always merciful to the living entity, always trying to bring him back to home, back to Godhead, always doing everything he can to encourage spiritual progress. How merciful is the Lord? Without the Lord's mercy, we have no possible way of going back to home, back to Godhead. And the guru is the vessel of mercy for the Lord. We don't see God, therefore we require the guru, service to the guru, surrender to the guru in order for us to qualify ourselves to see God. One time, Brigamuni was trying to figure out who was actually supreme, Brahma, Shiva, or Vishnu. And I can't remember the different things he did with Brahma and Shiva to decide if they were superior, but he caused them to react in such a way that they exhibited modes of ignorance and passion. Whereas when he went actually to see Lord Narayan, he actually kicked the Lord, who did not become upset. And in this way, he could understand that Lord Narayan is God, the supreme of all the different deities. It was Lord Narayan. Jagai and Madai were drunkards, Brahmin birth, but they became drunkards in the age of Kali. This is very common. They actually threw a piece of broken clay pot at Lord Nityananda, which caused blood to come down his forehead. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he heard this, came rushing with a Sudarshan chakra to kill them immediately. And Lord Nityananda stopped them and said, no. The purpose in this age of Kali is to show mercy. That's your mission, Lord. And to go against your mission would not be good. We need to convert these people, to convert them, not to kill them. And that became the rallying cry of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, that through the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and the holy name, all would be converted. So the Guru's position is he's a vessel of mercy for Lord Chaitanya. He's lenient. He's merciful because we are all like Jagai and Madai. I was going through the history of Srila Prabhupada. I came up with at least 3 to 5 major instances where disciples were considerably bad. And in each of those instances, and that's just 3 to 5, there's probably unlimited. In each of those instances, Prabhupada never, ever gave up his disciple. Anytime a disciple left ISKCON, it was because they chose it. It was never because Prabhupada rejected them. Tripurari Maharaj is part of the same history that I was part of. He knows all of these instances. Whether it was Tamal Krishna being banished to China by Srila Prabhupada, but never rejected. Whether it was Siddhaswarupananda, you can read about his history, where he started accepting disciples even before Srila Prabhupada left the planet. And Prabhupada said, this is our first Sahajiya. He never got rejected by Srila Prabhupada. Whether it was Brahmananda, Vishnujan, Subal, all Swamis, where they were declaring Prabhupada to be God, such a disturbance to ISKCON, the greatest offense to the spiritual master. Prabhupada never rejected any of them. Bali Mardan was president in GBC in New York, and he was literally offering tuna fish or fish to the deities, fish to the deity in the temple. And he was never rejected by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada never rejected any disciples. He may have become angry with them. He may have had strong words for them. He may have dropped them off on a street corner somewhere and said, you go on your own. You need to, you need to separate yourself from the pack. He may have exiled. It really wasn't an exile for Tamal Krishna, but he may have separated him, told him to go to China because he was causing so much disturbance. But Prabhupada knew that without his mercy, there was no chance for a disciple to go back to home, back to Godhead. Now, that is a very high level. That's the bar that Srila Prabhupada set for us. And anyone who is going to be a guru following in Srila Prabhupada's footsteps wants to emulate Prabhupada's mood. We should be very, very, very reluctant, if at all, to reject a disciple. Because it takes, as Prabhupada and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta specifically said, pints and pints of blood to make a disciple. I know with Srila Narayan Maharaj also, there are very strong instances and Srila Prabhupada where sannyasis fell down. Prabhupada got them remarried and said, just stay and chant, it's okay. Srila Narayan, same situation. Prem Prayojan Prabhu, leading preacher, left sannyas position to preach and to become a householder. And Srila Narayan begged him begged him over and over to come back to the sannyas position. Give up your wife, come back to being sannyasi. He never did. And yet he was never rejected by Srila Narayan as a disciple. So it's important because the link to God is through the guru. And we never want to cause offense to our guru where he rejects us. That is a very, very serious situation. Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains in the Harinam Chintamani, chapter 6, I believe, that, and this chapter is generally about when the disciple can reject the guru. So if you look through our Gaudiya Vaishnava literature, the circumstances that surround rejection are generally when the guru is not fit. And the disciple can determine that through proper analyzation, through references here, like in Harinam Chintamani, and there's also something by Srila Sanatana Goswami in this regard. And in some cases, it is okay if the disciple rejects the guru and finds shelter in another guru. But it is extremely rare, as these acharyas have pointed out, for a guru to reject a disciple. Literally, the disciple has to be evil for the guru to even consider rejecting him. After all, it is understood that all of us are bad. Srila Prabhupada was always referring to non-devotees and even devotees as rascals. We are bad. We are disobedient. That's understood. When someone takes a disciple and agrees to bring him home back to Godhead, it's understood that he's bad, that he's disobedient, and he's going to be made obedient. He's going to be made better. That is the role of the guru. It is not a paid role. It is a difficult role, but that is the purpose of being a guru. It is that he wants to make disciples, to make them better, to make them fit for going back to home, back to Godhead. Mrigarari the hunter was taught by his father, and his father's father taught him, etc., to go out and hunt animals, to kill them halfway, to cause them pain and misery. It's a horrible, horrible lifestyle. And when Narada Muni saw this, he said, at least kill them completely. Don't make them suffer. Narada Muni was able to convert Mrigarari the hunter into a disciple. And he was so appreciative of what he has gotten from his guru that he would be just the opposite. He would be so careful not to even step on an ant for fear of causing them pain. The importance of the guru in someone's life cannot be overestimated in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Neither can it be overlooked when a guru decides to reject a disciple, because it affects the entire Sangha. Everyone is concerned by such an instance. Going back to what Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, he explained that the disciple literally has to be evil to give the guru the right to give them up and reject him. In other words, it's so rare that even Bhaktivinoda in his Harinam Chintamani doesn't even explain the situation that occurs when that happens. He says, if you want to know what evil is, go look through the Shastras to determine what is an evil disciple. That's how rare it is. I don't think Padmanabha Swami would fit the description of evil as given by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, as determined by, or what Bhaktivinoda Thakur would say would be an evil disciple. Now, I say these things, and I said them on my post, because I want to bring them out, bring them to bear. At the same time, I am reluctant to develop this content more than this, because I don't want to disturb the faith of those who are following Tripurari Swami. Because having faith in the Guru is so important. So all of those who are following Tripurari Swami are well situated. There is no reason to find fault with your Guru. And I understand that in this particular case, Madan Mohan Prabhu is finding reasons for the legitimacy of what Tripurari Swami has done in rejecting his disciple. And I understand the motive behind that. But I am not a disciple of Tripurari Swami. I am his god brother. And I feel justified in responding to Tripurari Swami's disciple and explaining the Gaudiya Vaishnav point of view in regards to how merciful and liberal the Guru must be in order to be a Guru in this age of Kali Yuga. So I only would like Madan Mohan and others who are troubled or concerned or looking to take a side in this issue to look at the macro picture, not the micro picture. First, understand what is the role of the Guru in Gaudiya Vaishnavism, how liberal the Guru is and was and needs to be. And then once you understand what is the description, what is the proper duties, or how the Guru is supposed to be in Gaudiya Vaishnavism, based on the Acharyas and past experience and the scripture, the Shastra, the Shastra itself as well as the guiding principle. Not to judge Tripurari Swami harshly. I'm not asking anyone to judge him harshly. I'm very fond of him and very fond of Padmanabha Swami. And this is the reason I did what I did, because I'm so fond of both of them. And I also happen to be in agreement with the idea that bhakti is not inherent in the jiva. It is given through the agency of Guru and Krishna. the seed is planted by Guru and Krishna, which is another reason why I made the video, because the Guru is so important in the practice of Krishna consciousness, that the idea of rejecting the disciple is literally unheard of. I'm unhappy by the circumstance. I don't think it should have happened. It will cause ripple effects for years. Even as the situation dies down, there will always be surface tension for what happened, because Padmanabha Swami is not evil. He's not the cause of the rejection. He didn't ask to be rejected. He did nothing, in my estimation, that should have caused him to be rejected. And I can say this as a godbrother of Tripurari Swami, but you as a disciple cannot say this. So I can say it. Therefore, if you wish to find fault with me, that is understandable. If you do not need to agree with me, if it hurts your faith in your guru. You have a right not to agree with me. And that is perfectly fine. So I hope and pray that the Sangha can find relief from this action, can find unity, can continue to serve their spiritual master with full faith and vigor, can all come together as a Sangha and be happy in their service to Guru and Krishna. But I'm someone who has had association with both Tripurari and Padmanabha, mostly through writings and postings on Facebook for the last years. And I felt a need to do this video and to make my post on Facebook, even though I'm not a member of Tripurari Sangha. I'm not a disciple. I'm a godbrother. So please keep that in mind. And you may say that I have no business in butting my nose into the affairs of your Sangha, and I would not disagree with you. You may wish to find some fault in my being involved, and I would not have any problem with that whatsoever. I'm really mostly interested in establishing the role and the mood of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Guru, as Prabhupada has exemplified, the previous Acharyas has exemplified, Lord Nityananda exemplified, Brigamuni showed us in his relationship with Lord Narayan, Narada Muni being the guru, and Mrigari the hunter being the disciple. So many instances. Chintamani, the prostitute that tried to lure Haridas Thakur, how she became a disciple. And some may say, well, those were exemplary spiritual masters. If you wish to say that that's the case, that's okay too. My guru is not on the level of Narada Muni, Srila Prabhupada, all the other acharyas. That's perfectly fine to say. And then you must decide and say to yourself, well, should our guru follow in their footsteps, or does he have a right to make a determination on his level where it's okay? My guru is not on that level of, let's say, Srila Prabhupada. He's on this level. So therefore he acted on the best level that he could. And if you wish to determine that, if you wish to say that that is a logic that I'm using here that will make me feel comfortable in the action that my guru took, that's fine. Perhaps the ISKCON gurus and the non-ISKCON gurus, what disciples of Srila Prabhupada, maybe they should be dealt with in a different manner. After all, Srila Prabhupada was exemplary. He was on in a place that very, very few can attain. And perhaps that limit of unconditional love that Prabhupada exhibited is not something that can be mimicked. And I would be okay with that. I still feel, however, a need to express what Prabhupada gave us and what he taught us, and how we must try to follow in his footsteps. So in conclusion, I would like to say that I made this video, and I'm not a guru. Therefore, I'm not walking in the footsteps of, I'm not walking in the shoes of Tripurari Swami. And he has so much to be proud of, and he's done so much and will continue to do more than I ever could. Even when we were both godbrothers together distributing books, he did more than anyone in the society. He is exemplary, way, way more than me. One may consider me to be a fault finder for even putting out this video. But I feel very bad that Padmanabha Swami was rejected. I feel very, very bad. I don't think the circumstances warranted his being rejected by his guru. And that is all I want to say in the matter.